Greetings, my YouTube friends. I'm back home. Isn't it wonderful? It's so nice to come home. And I was gone for so long, it's taken me a few days to for my psyche to realize, yes, this is a familiar place. Well, I wanted to show you what I got done yesterday. My knee is slowly improving from when I sprained it when I was in Mississippi. And so I've been pretty slow moving, getting things done since I came home. But yesterday I finally sat down and did some painting. I paint cards and I sell them. And so I thought I would let you know what I was doing that was creative. So here's one I did. I really, really like this one. I think it's my favorite. I usually get inspiration is a good word for it, from things I see online, whether they're real photographs of real things or just photos of other watercolors. And so these are all things that I saw something like it and then kind of did my version of it. And except for this is just some layered flowers. I did one in blue and then one in red. Those are fun to do. This one is quite time consuming. There's a lot of different stuff going on there. All the more pale stuff you lay on first, and then you lay on the big roses, and then you put a lot of stuff behind those, and that's very time consuming. Anyway, and then I've done one like this before. These are just some flowers. It's very, very watercolory. What I mean by that is that you put in some pigment here, and then you just lay water out here and draw the pigment out until it fades into almost nothing. So that's a very washy look. And then I decided to try some gladiolas. I think they turned out okay in a little jar. So that's what I did there. Now let me show you the soap that I made yesterday. Yes, I made a batch of soap. I made a whole batch of lavender soap and used all 3 of my new molds, which is great. So this is the mold my daughter got me at Christmas. And then because I used it and I liked it so much, I got 2 more. These 2 have little purple liners, but it's exactly the same. So I now have 3 of these wonderful new molds, and they don't require any prep work. And I'm just going to lift this straight out of here the first time. Look at that. And you can just peel that back, take that soap loaf straight out of there. These cooled overnight and they went into a beautiful gel stage. And because the soap is so nice and firm, you don't damage it when you take it out of the mold. Look at that. Isn't that great? Okay. And I want to say real quickly, I want to do a shout out for somebody called The Lie Guy. His name is Jim Sweeting, and he sells, he's a chemist, I guess, and for many, many years he's been selling various chemicals that people need for various things, but he sells lye for soap making. It's one of the small things he does. And he had such excellent customer service. I won't go into all the detail because it was a complicated and confusing story when I was out of town and I was expecting my first shipment ever from him. And one got misplaced, and so he sent another at no cost to me. And then we found the first one, and so I ended up with 2 shipments of lye, and he didn't charge me for the other one. And instead, this lovely man said, you know, don't pay me for the second one, don't bother about it, but make some soap and donate it to like a local women's shelter, something like that. And I thought, oh, what a wonderful thing to do. So that's what I'm going to do. This is a whole batch of lavender, and either this batch or the next batch, I might make something that's a little more exciting than lavender. Lavender is a favorite, but it's a little boring. Something that that those girls and women at the shelter would like. So I just thought that was a neat thing, and I wanted to give a shout out to any soap makers out there. If you find that you need to order lye online, which is kind of where I ended up, because I couldn't find it locally anywhere, then The Lie Guy, L-Y-E-G-U-I, online is a great place to go. And he gives great service, quick shipping, good prices. Okay. Now I want to take you around to see all of the to-do projects that I have in line for coming days, if I can get around to them. It's one thing to come up with a to-do list while you're, you know, hundreds of miles away. And it's another thing to get back home and go, oh, I told myself I was going to do that. So let's look at them, starting with the silverware drawer. And Granny Marigold, this is for you. You wondered how I was going to improve my silverware drawer. Well, let me show you. So in the interest of full disclosure, I'm going to show you all of these items on my to-do list without tidying them up, okay? Because the whole problem is that they need work. So it wouldn't do any good to show them to you if I'd already improved them. Okay, so this is our kitchen, and this is, it looks so huge here, but it's actually not a very big cabinet that I bought. And you see, this is how I went in my kitchen, and this is what I did. This is a little cabinet with 2 drawers here and some storage underneath. These are our silverware drawers. We've only got 3 drawers in the kitchen. 2 of them are here. Now you see we have our little bread station here. Adam makes bread, so we cut our bread every morning for toast. And we cut it here, which means we always have lots of breadcrumbs and stuff around. And they fall into this drawer. And then it looks like this. It looks like dirt, and of course I guess it is, but that's really just breadcrumbs. We used to keep the coffee here too, and then the coffee grounds in the drawer were terrible. But why I want to improve my drawer is because the drawers are very shallow. They don't go back very far. They go back far enough, but these silverware holders are huge. I got them years ago, and they're just really, really big. And I know that they make ones that are shorter, but if I put it in this way, it doesn't fit. And if I had shorter ones that were just like, say, the length of the silverware itself, like to here, then it would fit. So I want to find different silverware holders. I have the same, this one is really interesting. Oh, no, that's, oh, I didn't realize which ones I had. So let me put the butter away. See, this one is even huger because it's a double one. It's ridiculous. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not filming very well. I'll lay that one that way. Watch them all fall on the floor. Okay, so this one's really long. It also has to go sideways. This is all our silver plate. And some of it's kind of junky looking like that. But some of it's rather pretty, and anyway, whatever. But I want to get new ones where I can put the silverware so that it lays this way. So when you reach in, like this is what happens, and it drives me crazy. When I open the silverware drawer, and it's not really designed to be a silverware, so you have to grab it by these little loopy things. That drives me crazy. And I want a knife. I have to open it kind of far to reach in, or if I want a serving spoon, I just have to wrestle my hand back there and guess at what I'm going to grab. Then I don't like that. So I'm going to look for new, oh, what did I just drop down there? Oh, it looks like a screw. I'm going to look for new silverware holders. Now let's go on to item number 2. Item number 2 is this, the table in the bathroom. This is the teeniest table in the house, just about. And it has one little drawer where I keep washcloths because it's right by the shower, so you can reach a washcloth if you need. And it's got various and sundry stuff on top, so it's a great place to just put anything. And then I keep Epsom salts and bubble bath and some cleaner down below. But the thing is, this was painted by my mother probably 50 years ago, almost 50 years ago when I was a kid, and she painted every wooden surface in the house. I kid you not. Any piece of furniture that didn't run away first, and all of the trim on the doors and windows, she painted this, what she called Williamsburg blue, or Williamsburg green, one or the other. Anyway, it just looks terrible now, and I really want to take this table outside and scrub it down and scrape it off and repaint it some other color. Or just get it clean. It just looks so filthy. So we're going to work on that. Item number 3 on the to-do list. I'm back in the kitchen. About 4 years ago, we gutted our entire kitchen. Absolutely everything. There was nothing here, not even the floor. You'll see that that's actually, well, let me pick up those things that I dropped before somebody steps on them. It's like particle board or something. And we stained it and put 3 coats of polyurethane, so it's tough. Anyway, the thing I didn't finish, if you look up, it's a very tall ceiling. It had a popcorn ceiling, which we haven't touched. And of course it had cabinets on either side. So down this side, that's unfinished. And then there's the bump out for the exhaust, but up there in that corner. And then here is unfinished. And Adam, in order to give it kind of a more rustic look, he just laid those boards in there to kind of look like a beam. Of course, it's just really a piece of wood. And it looks really rough up there still. You can see that's just sheetrock with some mudding. And it's quite rough, but it really needs to be painted. I have been putting that off because I just don't want to do it, but it has to be done. And of course, I think I'm going to do it in that yellow that the walls are, which I really enjoyed. It's a bright, happy yellow. I didn't really cover up. I don't know if you can see it. There's a wallpaper trim up there, and I couldn't get all of it off, so I just painted over it. It's, you know, it's rough. This is not an elegant home. This home is going to celebrate its 100-year anniversary birthday next year. It was built in 1922. All right, let's go on to the next item. Okay, here's the really scary part. This is what I mean by transparency and honesty. I do apologize for the traffic going by on the road. The road is pretty close. It's not very far. Down the steps, across the grass, through the shrubbery, and there it is. Isn't that a nice house across the way? Anyway, this is the front porch. It used to be a normal front porch that didn't have a door or anything. It just had these posts and railing around, and it was open. And then we enclosed it. Adam actually built this whole door frame structure here and put that screen door in. And then we put up plastic and turned it into kind of a greenhouse. Because it's attached to the house, we could keep it warmer in the winter. And we would put plants out here when we were doing really more farm work. But now look at it. Let's just start on this side. This is Adam's side. We put a drop leaf table out here so that he could work out here. And he did that well for I think for 1 year. He really used this as like a little office. And the reason it looks so bad now is because he painted our bedroom and laid a new floor in our bedroom while I was gone. And he put all my junk he put out here. So we got some financial records, and that's some packing material for my business. We've got coolers. This is a box full of stuff off of my dresser that I've gotten halfway empty. There's a basket with some netting in it that used to go on the side over here. But his whole desk, I mean, these are his ties. He's got books. See, with some silverware back there. This is a box with a wreath in it. This is a box that needs to be thrown away. These are some books from my bedroom, and I was actually using some soapy water to wipe them off. Another box. This is a oven that you can put on a sailboat. We don't even have a sailboat anymore, but we still have the oven. There's an egg carton. There's just all kinds of stuff. We bought some sausages last summer. There's the empty box they came in. And then there's my side. I still have a fall pumpkin out here. I have pecans that I picked up and dried. There's plants that Adam was supposed to water while I was gone, and he did some. This is my lime tree that I'm just about to prune. I've got rugs, a cat container, there's old school records, another cooler. There's a camp bed. There's 2 more camp beds, more rugs. I don't even know what's in that plastic bag right there. A fan, a chair, more egg cartons, an old window shade, some children's toys. All of this really needs to go. We want to open up the porch again, and I want it to be a place where we can sit when the mosquitoes aren't here and it's not freezing outside. But I'm tired of it. It has become a dumping ground. Do you have a dumping ground like that? We have several. This is like the smallest, easiest to clean one, I'm sorry to say. So this is project number 4. I'm not going to be able to tackle this until my knee is really all better. I can't really do a whole lot of strenuous work. So, the front porch. Number 5 on the list is new curtains for the dining room windows. Now, our dining room is the center room of the house. And there's our table. We keep it near the window because if it was in the middle of the room, we'd have a hard time getting around it. But those are the windows, and I've really just kept these pale blue shears on there. It's an old house, and so none of the windows are, or the blinds anyway, where the blinds are placed, they're not consistent, so you have to trim them and stuff. But I really want curtains, something on this side and something on that side, just for an edging, something bright and blue. This is my cool room with it has powder blue walls, and it has a blue oval rug. And I really use shears in the house because the house is very small. This room isn't small, but many of them are, and I didn't want heavy curtains that would make the house feel small and dark. So I just want some accent curtains on the edges. I'll probably keep those shears. They really need to be washed. They're getting dusty at the top. The next project after new curtains was to hem one of these shears, because this one doesn't go all the way to the floor, and this one did go all the way to the floor, and it was hidden by the table. But actually, when I got home, I discovered I'd already done that project, so I can check one off the list. All right, next we come into our bedroom. Now, this is the room that Adam redid. I'm sorry about that light over there, but you can see he did a beautiful job. Again, powder blue, which is a very calming color. So in a bedroom, I wanted something very calming. And when he took everything down, we realized just really how bad these roller shades are. But this one is the old one. This one was here when the house was bought. Look at the bottom of that. Isn't that just appalling? But it is a room darkening shade, and I had it behind some shears, so I didn't really have to look at it. It looks out onto the front porch, and so I don't really raise that blind very much. But I'd like to. I want to get sunlight into the rooms. And let me show you the shears that were on that window. Now, I had 2 panels of shears on each window, and I just got these 5.5 years ago, and they're fine, but they're kind of a gray blue. They're a smoky blue instead of a pale robin's egg blue. And look at them. They were very cheap. I got them at Ollie's discount store, and they're even starting to come apart. So I'm going to donate these to our local thrift store and find something new that's a little bit of a brighter blue, or I just don't want any gray in there. Here's the other window above the bed, and I'm pondering what I want to do in addition to shears. I don't want anything heavy. I might just put a valance at the top and maybe call myself done with that. But the bedroom, let me show you the floors. Look at what a beautiful job he did. He did the dining room a few years ago, and I wanted him just to paint this floor, and he said, this is when I was in Mississippi, and he said, Mary Catherine, it's really bad, and it's very thin, and I'm afraid we're going to step through it like happened in the dining room. So he laid this. It has a pad underneath. You can barely see it right there. See that grid? That's kind of this golden pad that goes underneath it. And then you lay the floor perpendicular to whatever direction the underlying boards are, and it gives you better support, and it really looks beautiful. Well, that's my to-do list so far. That's not everything on the list, but I thought that was enough because honestly, I don't know if we're ever going to get around to all of that. I've got so much to do now, like soap and painting and weaving and spinning, that it's really, really hard for me to get around to things I don't want to do at all. So I just wanted to share that with you because this is an accountability video to remind me that I have things on a list to do. And if ever I have a day where I'm not sure what to do with myself, I should be able to look back on that list and go, oh, it's time to paint the kitchen ceiling. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye-bye.